I'm Allison Plyer from the Greater New Orleans Community Data Center, and this is an overview of the New Orleans Index at 8. It's been 8 years now since Katrina struck and the levees failed, and in just 2 more years, at the 10th anniversary, the nation will turn its attention to our region to see whether the massive federal and charitable investments here have paid off. So we're taking stock now. Where have we made progress? Where do we have more work to do? And has the New Orleans Metro really broken from its historic path and taken up a new trajectory akin to Austin, Raleigh, and Nashville? In the New Orleans Index at 8, we compared the New Orleans Metro's performance with a peer group of post-industrial metros with which we were identified before 2000. These had slow or negative economic growth and high poverty rates, unemployment, etc. And we also compared our performance with aspirational southern metros that have had greater than 10% job growth since 2000. Here you can see the racial ethnic breakdown for the working age population of each. This age group contributes most to our regional prosperity, and the profile of the New Orleans Metro is important to keep in mind as we look at some of our indicators. Looking at 28 different indicators in the New Orleans Index, we found that the New Orleans Metro has indeed embarked on a new trajectory, with signs of a more competitive economy. Yet on several metrics, we're not performing as well as the nation or the aspirational southern metros. Here are some of those indicators. The New Orleans Metro weathered the recession well and recovered jobs at rates similar to aspirational metros, now at 1% above our 2008 jobs level, while the nation and weaker post-industrial metros remained more than 2% below their 2008 job level. Entrepreneurship continues to boom, reaching 56% higher than the nation and 33% higher than the aspirational metros. The New Orleans Metro has gained adults with a bachelor's degree since 2000, but at a slower rate than the nation, only 3% compared to 4% nationwide. Nationwide, we've seen decreases in male employment rates over the last several decades as male-dominated industries like manufacturing have declined, and we've seen increases in female employment rates as we've grown jobs in industries like healthcare. In the New Orleans Metro today, 75% of working-age white men are employed, which is on par with the aspirational metros and higher than the post-industrial metros. In contrast, only 53% of working-age black men are employed in the New Orleans Metro, which is on par with the weaker metros and significantly lower than the aspirational southern metros, where 61% of black men are employed. Minority-owned businesses are important because they're more likely than other employers to hire minorities. On this indicator, we have mixed results. Our concentration of minority-owned businesses is greater than the national average, even when accounting for our larger minority population. On the downside, the possible benefits of these businesses are not what they could be because the share of all receipts going to minority-owned businesses is stagnant at only 2%. In an era of constrained public resources, incarceration is an expensive response to arrest, and research has shown that incarcerating people who pose little threat can result in making them a greater risk to public safety after their release. Incarceration rates in Orleans Parish have fallen post-Katrina, but are still several times higher than the national average. Poverty is not just a problem for the city. Poverty rates are growing in the suburban parishes as well, and today the majority of the Metro's poor lives in the suburbs. On quality of life, New Orleans has increased the total number of arts and culture nonprofits despite a smaller population to support them. We now have more than double the national rate of arts and culture nonprofits per capita. Fully 29% of the coastal wetlands that protect the New Orleans Metro have converted to open water since 1932. And inside the levees, salt water is encroaching. Of these 6 sites where water has been sampled since 1951, 3 of them have converted to salt water. Our assessment of the economy indicates that it is diverse enough and deep enough to integrate workers across all skill levels. With expected growth in petrochemical manufacturing and other industries, there's significant potential for upward mobility. The public education, healthcare, and criminal justice reforms underway have significant potential to raise standards of living. Leaders and residents can sustain and build on these reforms by continuously learning and improving them as they go. Transparency and objective data and research will be key to optimizing these reform efforts. Finally, coastal restoration has the potential to both grow economic diversification and provide employment across a variety of skill levels. Restoration work can stimulate the adaptation of older industries and hone economic expertise for export to other regions and countries. The New Orleans Index at 8 reveals that indeed, on some measures, we are now in the ranks of other fast-growing southern metros. And there are indicators where we have more work to do. The index also points to significant assets we have for growing human potential and increasing environmental sustainability. The purpose of the New Orleans Index at 8 is to give New Orleanians and all our partners, state, federal, and philanthropic, facts so that we understand where we are today and where we might go from here.